Right, we're recording.
Thanks, Vicky. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Executive Cabinet Member Deputy Leaders Portfolio meeting. The first item on the agenda is monitoring of Executive Cabinet members' decisions. You've had an enclosure. Members got any comments, questions, or queries?
Just one from me, Martin. Is this about the disposal of the land?
Yes.
It was just a query that I had. Can you confirm that all the proposed disposals are consulted on with the relevant ward councillors, so the relevant ward councillors know about the land that's being disposed of?
Yeah, well, that's my understanding. Justin, would you like to just confirm that, please?
Yeah, but the normal process is that we would obviously consult with members at a local level. Is there a particular site you're referring to? Councillor?
I've just been asked because we've had some queries about not the current administration, but previous administration where land's been sold and we didn't know about it. I think around Greasdale, you may have seen the emails from Roger. So it was just, I have been asked by a number of our councillors just to confirm that that is the process that does happen.
Yeah, we updated our disposals process in corporate property about 12 months ago, 18 months ago. It went through consultation and we then published it, or have published it on the council website as well. We've previously given members a presentation on it. I think we went to cabinet as well, but if members and we've had the opportunity to meet with most ward members as a team to sort of discuss issues in property on a ward by ward basis. So obviously we're here to help support, and if you have any particular queries, obviously then let us know. But the process is that we engage with members, with our ECM, with stakeholders, and then if it tends to be open land as well, we do a public open space notice as well, so the community are aware. I'm aware of the emails from obviously we've been going around in relation to the property you mentioned the last few weeks. It's a legacy issue, and I think there's a bit of ambiguity about the sort of council's involvement and parcels of land and things like that. But happy to take that offline with you if you need.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
Thanks.
Okay, Sue, thanks for that. Very well. I note this report. Thank you. Item 2 is the Treasury Management Q4 report, and Graham's going to take us through this. Graham, please.
Actually, Chair, I'm going to ask Lisa Melia, who is one of our accountants in the corporate finance and accounting team, to talk us through this. So if I could please pass over to Lisa.
Okay, Lisa. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Chair. This is the Treasury Management Report for Q4 for 25-26, covering the Treasury Management activity and associated prudential indicators. ECM are asked to note the performance of the prudential indicators and the contents of this report. I'll just highlight a few areas. In 2.2.1, we have the external long-term borrowing, which has remained at £158 million, all based on fixed rates. On to 2.7.1, you'll be able to see we have a balance of fixed and variable rates for our debts and investments, which are in line with our Treasury indicators. In 2.7.3, you can see the profile of those debts taken over the past number of years. And in Appendix 3, this shows our cash equivalents of 14.850 million and short-term investments of 120 million. I'm happy to take any questions or comments on this particular report.
Thank you, Lisa. Members, any comments, questions, or queries on this report? No? Very well. I approve the recommendations as set out in the preamble to this report. And then item number 3 is the creation of a strategic operations manager post within corporate property. You've had an enclosure, and I think this one is Justin's going to take us through it. Justin?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So you'll all be aware over the last 12, 18 months, we brought corporate property services back in-house. We've been through a significant transformation. We've really sort of taken on quite a lot of new roles and responsibilities within the council. And as we bed in and sort of shift from a transformation into a service delivery format, we've been through a business improvement review. We had that ratified back in February, March, I think it was, by the leaders, ECM. And we're now in a position where we now need to sort of strengthen the team and provide that structure so we can now deliver on our council priorities, which are obviously improving the estate, rationalisation where possible, utilisation of vacant properties, but also driving disposals. And so in terms of my team, on the corporate property side, we have the strategic services side of things, which are identifying areas for improvement within the service and across the council, but also looking to, as I say, drive the strategic asset management plan, disposals, and bring revenue in for the and capital receipts in for the council. So the team now we've identified that team need that leadership and that drive and that structure. They will be working under me, and then they will be responsible for the day-to-day line management of the strategic services team. We will be looking to, and what we're trying to do at the moment as well within corporate resources is promote from within. So we're looking to try and obviously grow the team, but also make sure that we've got the right people doing the right roles as well. And then obviously make sure that we've got a fit for purpose structure and organisation going forward, so we can deliver over the next 12 months. Obviously our ambitions. Any questions on the report that's been submitted?
Just a point of clarification, please, Justin.
Yeah.
Can you just clarify that this post will be funded from existing approved budgets and that there's no additional growth in the budget required for this position?
I can do, yeah. One of our initial targets when we set up last year was to find a saving of £500,000 from our annual budget. We've managed to achieve that, and we've managed to ring fence some monies to help grow and stabilise the team as well. So it's very much self-funded for within our budget, which has been agreed by full council.
Thank you. Councillor Flickcroft.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe it's me being a bit thick, but I'd like something explained, if that's all right, from the report. It's report is 1.2.314. So it says strengthen assurance, integration and grip across the corporate estate and reduce dependency on single points of failure within the leadership structure. Could that be explained so as I can understand it, please?
Yeah, so basically we've strengthened assurance, integration and grip across the corporate estate. So we have pockets of property that's been done throughout the council in adult services, children's services, place, public health, as well as corporate property and corporate resources. So what we are doing as well as a service is now we've in-housed the corporate property function, is making sure that we're rolling out best practice and modern ways of working across the council. So we are supporting, for example, our green space team, environmental services team, to make sure that their properties are fit for purpose, compliant, etc. Where they don't have the expertise in-house to do that because that's not their function. We are now bringing that we have brought that function in the house. So we are now the competent team within the council, or we're starting to behave like a competent team. We've also working with school services. So school services, for example, there's 47 schools that we are responsible for as a council. We are the duty holder ultimately in terms of health and safety. So making sure that the schools are protected and have a sort of robust procedures to make sure that they obviously have the right governance and everything in place to support the head teachers with their health and safety requirements. So we've developed the what we call an SLA to make sure that they have access to the right services, the right understanding, the right advice, and we can then help support and audit them on an annual basis. So really making sure from a corporate landlord perspective that we are integrating the philosophy of best practice across the council. And then what we're finding then is that will then stop isolated incidents where we've then potentially caused a point of failure, which is obviously a management issue. So we're sort of taking that from a top-down approach on things, and that's why we need the caliber of people in to make sure we do things right.
Thanks for explaining that, Justin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, just I'd like to say thank you to you and your team. I think the difference between since you onboarded the services from Robertson's has been markedly different. In particular, from my perspective, the communication that we're now getting back from you and your team, even unprompted telephone calls from a couple of your members have come in and updated me on things that never happened under Robertson's. So it's really good to see, and I'd like to thank you and your team for all the work that you're doing in the background. I appreciate bringing that mess from Robertson's back in the council wasn't an easy task. I'm sure you've got lots more to do yet. I'm sure things will. One thing I'd like to see brought to a future scrutiny, if possible. So it's not really relating to the role. I'm perfectly fine with that. But one thing I'd like to see is possibly looking at the cost benefits of bringing everything away from Robertson's. As in, was it beneficial? Because that could have impacts going forward on other services that we currently outsource. Could we be doing it better ourselves rather than outsourcing it to an expensive third party? So thanks for all the work you're doing, and I'd really like to see just some information, some comparison between what it was like with Robertson's. I mean, we know what the service was like with Robertson's, and but financially, are we much better off with you guys doing it? Service is definitely better anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Shall I just follow through and pick up on Councillor Grant's point there?
Yes, if you would, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback, and it's really helpful. And I know we're working with various members across their wards on the issues that are important to them. And as we've pointed out, and we've stated before, that members are our eyes and ears out there in the community. So it's so important that we connect with them and understand who they are, but also who we are as well. We're not perfect, and we still do occasionally obviously drop a clanger. We're a big organisation. We have lots of properties, and we have only a sort of a finite amount of resource to be able to do things. We can't do everything, but we are trying to sort of make a big difference. We did go to scrutiny on, I think it was the 13th of April. We gave an update on backlog maintenance and the SAMP. As I said earlier, we did make a saving based on last year's budget, which was under Robertson's, to this year of £500,000. That was an arbitrary figure that we were asked to find. We managed to find that, and we are looking at finding further efficiencies as well. We are finding quite a lot in our energy usage that we are actually able to sort of reduce the amount of energy and cost that is associated with running our buildings by moving from gas to electricity, for example. It's not just about net zero, but it's actually about being pragmatic and saving money. And yeah, absolutely, we'd love the opportunity later in the year to sort of come to scrutiny and sort of show the benefit we're doing. I think that's something that we're really sort of taking up the mantle, a bit of a challenge to sort of see how can we do things differently. Wake up every morning and say, what would one organisation do? Let's do the opposite. So yeah, happy to help and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Wonderly.
Yeah, I can definitely say that Maureen isn't thick. That was definitely council corporate speak language that was slipped in there, and I'm sure that you don't usually try and do that, Justin, but yeah, I can assure you that we all probably have a bit of a wrestle over that sentence. Just one thing that you mentioned, I may have missed it or misheard it, but you said something about the role about promoting from within. Is it going to go outside for advertisement, this role?
It will do. What we tend to do is we in consultate, once we get ECM approval, we've already consulted with the unions. The unions always like us to try and sort of give council members internally the opportunity to put their hand up and have a go. But certainly this is an important role. We'll give it a good airing if need be. But we've if we can promote from within, we will. We don't always get interest internally, but it's certainly an opportunity, especially over the last 12 months. We've recruited to a couple of roles where we've actually then had people who have come in on the help desk or who have come in on an admin function who have then taken the opportunity to take a step up or take something on that gives them a bit more career progression. So very much, if we can grow our own, but certainly we'll be looking to make sure we get the best candidate for this.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. Okay, colleagues, any further comments, questions or queries? Very well. I approve the recommendations as set out in the preamble to this report. Thank you. And that concludes our business for this morning. Thank you all for your attendance at this ECM meeting. And please, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day on this lovely sunny day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chair.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.